dear students. We'll continue. Here we have more and more questions about integration in mechanics. A ball bearing is fired vertically upwards in a straight line through a tub of butter. Wow. The upward velocity of the ball bearing is given by V as a function of time. V equals 13 minus 10t minus 3t squared centimeter per second, where t is the time from when it was fired upwards. Part A, find the time when the ball bearing comes momentarily to rest. Comes to rest, it means velocity equals 0. So simply we will substitute velocity here by a 0, and we will solve a quadratic equation, which is 0 equation, then factorization. So part A, and we have to translate every word. At rest means velocity equals 0. And here the title is already velocity. But better if you multiply the whole equation by -1. Okay, so now we put velocity equals 0. So 0 is equal to 13 minus 10t minus 3t squared. Please multiply the whole equation by -1 and rearrange it. As you know, the calculator can solve quadratic equations by mode 5, but we have to show the method, whether by factorization or by quadratic formula or by completing the square, you know. So now it is 3t squared plus 10t minus 13 equals 0. When you click mode 5, 3 equals 10 equals negative 13 equal. We have two answers. Here t minus 1 into 3t plus 13 is equal to 0. We have two answers. Either t equals 1, which is a reasonable answer, or t equals negative 13 over 3, which is rejected because time is never negative. So we got the answer of part A. The time will be 1 second. 1 second. So part B, find how far the ball bearing has traveled upwards at this time. How far means distance equals question mark. How far the ball bearing has traveled upward at this time, at t equals 1. If we have velocity and we need to find distance or displacement, we just integrate. So S equals integral of velocity with respect to time. We are integrating this formula. So S equals integral of open brackets 13 minus 10t minus 3t squared dot dt. Remember that when we equate it to 0, we can multiply both sides because it was an equation. We can multiply both sides by -1 and change the signs of everything in order to factorize. But you're not allowed to change it in the integration, of course. You take the original expression, he gave it to you up in the question. So now you integrate 13, it will be 13, and you stick a t. Here is power 1, increase the power by 1, divide by the new power, so it will be 10t divided by 2, which is 5t, minus 3t cubed over 3, just t cubed, and we cut, and then you have to substitute for the limits from 0 to 1, because he said during this time, at this time, it means from 0 to 1. So after substitution and subtraction, you will get the answer, which will be 7 centimeters. I'm just saving time. You know, everyone knows about substitution and subtraction. You have to show all your working to gain the mark. Next, part C. The ball bearing, see this part. The ball bearing then falls downwards. Remember, it was fired in the beginning of the story. It was fired vertically upwards through a tub of butter. And then when it went up, it has to fall down again, okay? So the ball bearing then falls downwards through the hole it has made in the butter, the downward velocity of the ball bearing is given by another expression, completely different. V equals 10t, centimeter per second, where t is the time, capital letter T is the time from when it was momentarily at rest. So from up, when it went up, it stopped, then it starts to fall. Find the time that the ball bearing takes from when it was momentarily at rest to fall to its original position. So we need now to find the time from rest. S is integral velocity with respect to time, but not the first one, the second one of the trip going down. So you are integrating 10t, capital letter T, with respect to capital letter T, okay? Use the same letter. It will be increase the power by 1, divide by the new power, and C. So it will be 5t squared plus C. What is the title? It is S. We'll say something which is common in these cases. When t equals 0, when the time equals 0, the displacement equals 0, so C equals 0. Therefore, S equals 5t squared. That's it. And you know that S equals 7. So you can find T. Who said it is 7? The trip upwards was 7 centimeters. And then it stopped. Then it will fall the same distance. So the same 7, you will use it. So now divide both sides by 5 and find square root for both sides, only plus, because time is always positive. So T is square root of 7 over 5 seconds. Now question C is done. Question D, he is asking about assumptions. In mechanics, M1, we usually put some modeling in the questions to make it easier. What assumptions have been made in the model used in part C, and how could the model be improved? Of course, they assumed that there is no friction, especially when it was going down in the hole of the butter. When it is going down in the hole made in the butter, of course, it's the same size of the ball bearing. So it will touch the walls of the hole. So there is friction. And the modeling is ignoring the friction. So how to improve this model? We just have to incorporate a factor to represent friction. Next question. A car travels in a straight line, starting and finishing at rest. Okay, we start from rest, like vroom, vroom, vroom. Then stop. So starting from rest and ending at rest, it means acceleration, then deceleration, passing by maximum speed somewhere. At time t after the start, the velocity of the car is modeled as v equals 1. There are two stages. V equals t. V equals t for t ranges from 0 to 2. The next stage, from 2 seconds till t seconds, there is another expression of v in terms of t. kt minus 0.055, open brackets, t minus t2 all squared. Find the value of k. In order to find the value of k, we have to substitute, of course, in the second stage. But we have to use something which is nice and easy. Of course, velocity is continuous at time t equals 2, because from 0 to 2, it has a formula, and from 2 to t, it has another formula. So, of course, velocity is the same in both cases. Let's substitute in the first one, t equals 2, so v equals 2. In the second one, and t equals 2. In the second one, from t equals 2 to t, we will use the second expression and substitute velocity is 2, and in everywhere, here is velocity is 2, and also time is 2, And then we have to find k, and let's go. So question A, because velocity is continuous at t equals 2, therefore, for the first stage, you will put v equals c. Both of them are 2. In the second stage, you will write here 2 equals k times 2 minus 0.055 into 2 minus 2, which is 0. So the whole term will be a 0. It means 2 equals 2k, so divide both sides by 2k equals 1. First part is done. Now second part, show that there is no change in the acceleration of the car at t equals 2. How to show that there is no change in acceleration? We should find acceleration. What do you know about acceleration? Let's go back to differentiation. We have here first v is t, and acceleration is dv by dt. So this t will be a 1. This is the first one. Acceleration is 1. But we have to explain that we are using the time which is from 0 to 2. And then we'll explain that we are using the second stage, which is from 2 to t. We got k already, and we are allowed to use it in the second stage, of course. Remember that v equals kt minus 0.055 t minus 2 the whole squared. So here acceleration is dv by dt. Kt, it is 1t. I can remove this k and put a 1 because we got it before. So the derivative of 1t is 1 minus. How to differentiate a perfect square? To differentiate a perfect square, you can just expand, or you derive it by the chain rule, which is derivative of bracket multiplied by derivative of what's inside the bracket. Remember? Differentiation of pure 1. So it will be 2 into 0.055 into t minus 2. Okay? And then remember that t, we got it before, t is how much? It's 2. Because we said here t equals 2. When you calculate it and put here this t as 2, again for the next time, the second time, the whole term is a 0. So it will be acceleration is also 1. In the first stage, it's 1. In the second stage, it's 1. So don't forget to write the conclusion. Therefore, there is no change in acceleration. Therefore, there is no change in acceleration. Part C. Find the maximum velocity of the car during the journey. The maximum velocity of the car during the journey. The word maximum, it means first derivative, remember? Maximum, minimum, turning point, critical point, all this at stationary point, all these expressions means the first derivative equals 0. So in this case, first of all, we'll speak about the first stage from 0 to 2. The first stage, this one, maximum velocity, it's 2 meters per second. And for the next stage, which is from 2 to t, Vmax, maximum velocity, occurs at the first derivative of velocity with respect to time equals 0. It means when acceleration equals 0. So we will take the first derivative we did before, which is this one, of course, without substituting the 0, without substituting the t equals 2. So it is 1 minus 2 open bracket 0.055 close brackets t minus 2, and you just equate it to 0. Cross the bridge and change the sign and divide both sides by the number, which is the coefficient of t minus 2. And then I'll tell you it will be how much? It will be 11.09 recurring seconds. When we get this time, we just substitute to get Vmax. Till now, you didn't get maximum velocity. You just got the time which causes the velocity to be maximum. But he wants to find the velocity itself, so substitute in the formula which is related to the second stage, this one. I have to color them. In these questions, I love to color them. The first one, color it in blue, first stage, and the second stage, I'll color it in pink. This is nice. So Vmax equals, substitute in the pink formula, KT minus, oh, we got the T. Substitute K into 11.09 recurring. Better you store it on the calculator. Okay, and then when you store it in store A, and then you just recall A, you get the value you store. You have 9 stores in your calculator. KT minus 0.055 close brackets T, which is 11.09 minus 2 whole squared. So when you find it out, remember that the K also, we got it before, K is 1. So final answer will be 6.55 meters per second. Da-da-da. Of course, this is the maximum velocity. We have here 2 velocities, but we'll take this one. This one is the maximum velocity, and no need to mention the start and the end of the journey because they're already, it started from 0 and ended at 0. So the maximum velocity is 6.55 meters per second. Thank you, and see you in the next video. And we will learn that we will integrate something else. Here we integrated velocity with respect to time to get displacement. Next video, we will do integration related to acceleration to get velocity. See you. Bye-bye.